Who doesn't love nacho cheese? I know I do, but today I'm gonna show you how to make it better with Exile Ruthie Gold Lager, because in my mind, everything is better with beer.
Everything's better with beer. Stir fry, saute it, you can even bake it. Just make sure to use beer when you make it. Everything's better with beer. It's that guy from MasterChef. No, not that guy. The one on the left, from chicken gravy to El Pot roast. Grant Gillon is your host. Everything's better with beer.
All right, guys, for this smoked jalapeno beer cheese dip, we are gonna need, of course, our Exile Brewing Ruthie. We're gonna get 2 types of cheeses, our cheddar and then our smoked Gouda. And honestly, it's 3 types of cheeses. I'm gonna show you how American cheese fits all into this, just believe me. A little bit of jalapeno, some smoked paprika from my friends over at Allspice in the East Village of Des Moines, some Dijon mustard, some whole milk, a little bit of butter and flour, and that's all you need to make it better with beer, baby. We're gonna start by shredding up our cheddar cheese. Now, guys, I know it's a lot easier to go to the store and buy a bag of cheese, but that pre-grated cheese has some anti-caking agents on the outside, and it's gonna make the end of your sauce be a little bit gloopy, and we're looking for a nice, creamy cheese dip here. And so I'm gonna tell you, it's a little bit extra work. It's really not that much. Go buy a block of cheese, grate your own at home, okay? We're gonna hit it with our smoked Gouda now. I like to use 2 different types of cheeses. It adds just a little bit of depth to the sauce. And then not only does this taste different than cheddar, but it has a lot of that smokiness. It's gonna pair really well with the beer, with the cheese, with those jalapenos. It'll be a nice spicy element, and that smokiness will just add a nice, beautiful note to it as well. We're gonna do about another 6 ounces of our smoked Gouda. I'm gonna chop up some jalapenos, and guys, these are spicy, and I don't want you to touch your eyes or something else and have it be burning for the rest of the day. So when I'm at home, I always glove up whenever I'm working with anything spicy. I make sure not to touch my eyes, and as soon as I'm done, slip them off right into the garbage. All right, we are gonna do, let's see how many jalapenos we need today. When I do jalapenos, I like to take off the top and then slide it right down the middle. Now, these seeds and especially the ribs are where most of the heat in the jalapeno comes from. So you can decide at this point how spicy you want this to be. I like spicy, but if I'm serving it for a big group of people, I know not everybody's gonna like it as spicy as me. So I am gonna take out most of the ribs and seeds just like that. You can use a knife to cut them out, but a lot of times you can just run your thumb right through there and it'll fall right out. We have separated out those ribs and most of the seeds there. We'll keep a little bit in, and then we're just gonna do a nice little dice on these guys. Now, if you wanted to roast these beforehand or even use pickled jalapenos, you absolutely could. I like the nice fresh bite of fresh jalapeno, especially in a cheese sauce that has so much going on already. But again, I'm giving you a starting point for this recipe here. If you would rather prefer one of those 2, please go for it. This should be a base, and then you can change it up to whatever makes sense for you and the people that you're serving. Chopping it up nice and fine like this. Make sure nobody gets too big of a bite of jalapeno, not too spicy on any given bite when you're dipping right into this beautiful cheese dip. So nice little dice, just like that. All right, we are gonna kick off this cheese sauce right here. It's gonna be a 1-pot wonder, which is phenomenal. And most of my cheese sauces, I like to start off using a roux, which is basically butter and flour cooked down together. That's gonna help thicken up the sauce, make it nice and creamy as well. So we're gonna start with 2 tablespoons of butter right in the pot. Let that cook down for just a couple of moments until it is fully melted up. Now, I know a lot of people are apprehensive when they hear they have to make a roux because they're worried about it being gritty or not doing it right. And so hopefully I can unlock a little bit of that for you today. we have our butter completely melted. I have my heat right on about medium high now. I'm gonna take the same amount of flour as I did butter, so I have 2 tablespoons here, and a little bit at a time, I'm just gonna sprinkle some flour in. The goal here is to get that flour completely hydrated by that melted butter. A little bit at a time, make sure that there's enough liquid to soak up all of that flour, and that's gonna eliminate a lot of lumps down the road as well. Last 2 tablespoons in there. It's gonna thicken up a little bit, and then you're gonna notice a lot of bubbling in the pan, and that is absolutely perfect. Honestly, 2 things are happening right now. That flour is starting to almost gelatinize a little bit, and that's what we want it to do to help soak up all of the liquid we're about to dump in here, and it will help thicken it up. We're also cooking out a lot of that raw flour. Raw flour is not good to ingest. A lot of times when you see people tell you not to eat raw cookie dough, it's not as much the eggs as it is the flour, the risk of getting salmonella from raw flour. So you always wanna make sure we're cooking out that flour. After about 30 seconds, it's nice and bubbly. I can smell the toastiness, which means I know that flour has been cooking out. And we are gonna go right in here with a little bit of our Ruthie Gold Lager, okay? So this is a 12-ounce bottle. I am gonna aim to put in about 10 ounces of it. And again, a little bit at a time, because as soon as you add liquid to a roux, it's gonna start seizing up. If it starts seizing up, you know that you are doing it right. And again, by adding just a little bit at a time, you're gonna ensure that you won't get a grainy sauce, and it will end up nice and smooth at the end. So we're adding in all of that beer. Just a little bit at a time and whisking it to incorporate each and every time. I'm not gonna add any more until I am perfectly happy that it is nice and smooth. Just like that. Just add a little bit more. And that is the perfect base for our beer cheese. And now I tell you 10 ounces because we use 10 ounces in there. It's the perfect amount, and it leaves 2 ounces for me to drink. Nothing like a Ruthie, baby. All right, that beer is now all incorporated, and it is at the base of our recipe, which means it is gonna go throughout this entire cheese. I am gonna add a little bit of milk in here. Help again with that creaminess. The milk is gonna help accept that cheese in a lot better, and it's gonna make a beautifully stretchy, creamy cheese sauce. So a little bit of milk at a time. We're gonna end up adding probably just about a full cup of milk. All right, this base looks perfect. It's a little bit thicker than a beer or a milk would normally be. I wanna see a couple bubbles rising up before I start adding the cheese in, but this is the perfect time to start seasoning it. We are gonna wait until the end for the salt because cheese has a lot of salt in it naturally, but I do wanna lay down some more base flavors with a little bit of mustard, a little bit of Dijon mustard, and then to enhance some of that smoky flavor, we're gonna add in a sweet smoked paprika. Now, if you wanna go spicier, you can add in a spicy paprika if you would like. We already have a lot of jalapenos going on in this guy, so I'm gonna stick with the sweet one here. Get that all incorporated. Beautiful. We are looking nice and smooth here. We're getting some bubbles right around the edges, which means the temperature is right where we want it to start adding cheese. Now, just like with the flour earlier and then also with the beer, we're gonna add it a little bit at a time. If we added all the cheese at once, it would just kind of seize up. There's not enough heat in that pan to melt it. So we're just gonna do little handfuls at a time and a little bit of each. And we're gonna wait until it is fully melted and incorporated before adding our next batch. Nice and melted in there. A little bit more cheese. Just keep adding and adding. This will start thickening up naturally on its own. 1, because we made that roux already. And 2, as we add more cheese, it is just gonna naturally start thickening up. Add that last handful in there and let it melt all the way down. Now, I told you earlier that we were gonna talk about why American cheese might make sense in this, right? So this Gouda and cheddar are made in a traditional way, and they're made with a lot of fat and a lot of salt, but not a lot of what we call emulsifiers, right? And so if they get heated up too high, they tend to split. That fat comes out of the cheese. So I'm a chef. I have a lot of fun gizmos and powders and all those fun things to make really good food happen. And one of those is called sodium citrate. It's not easy to find though. You're not gonna go down to your grocery store and find sodium citrate. But what's great is that American cheese has sodium citrate in it. That's why it melts so well without splitting on your burger. That's why it's so stringy. And it is perfect to just toss one slice in, and that is gonna be enough to help emulsify all of that cheese together so it doesn't split. There's no fat, there's no grease. It is just one cohesive, beautiful cheese sauce. Fun fact, the chemical symbol for sodium citrate is NaCHO, nacho cheese. I'm telling you, it's for a reason, all right? Our cheese is fully melted in there. It is bubbling, it is hot, it is wonderful. So it is time to introduce those fresh jalapenos in there. And again, this is the time that you get to choose however much you want to add. We're gonna start with about one full jalapeno and get it all mixed in there, because that flavor is gonna go throughout. That bite is gonna be through the entire cheese sauce. So again, if you're cooking for a group of people that like a lot of spice, go ahead and add some more. If there are people that don't like it, just add a little bit. It won't be too spicy. Jalapenos aren't the spiciest pepper in the world, but it's just gonna give you that little bit of kick. All right, guys, it is time to pop the top on Exile Ruthie Gold Lager. Now, Exile opened up in downtown Des Moines in 2012, and RJ Tercey had this idea to be inspired by all the countless immigrants that have made our country what it is and brew beers that were focused on European styles. Now, Ruthie was one of their first beers, and it was really born out of, this kind of legend of a person in Des Moines that could always serve perfectly balanced beers. And that's exactly what Ruthie Gold Lager is. It's light, it's easy drinking, it is smooth, and it is classic. It is gonna pair so well with this beer cheese dip that we're making today. Let's get it in the glass. You can see that beautiful color of that lager. Now, I'm gonna pour it in front of me, not on my chest today, but I think it's gonna taste just the same. Cheers. All right, I think this cheese sauce is looking gorgeous, and I am ready to serve it up to you. Let's do it. All right, and for that cheese pour, look at that. Nice and smooth, full of jalapenos. Now, it looks great. For me, I want to take just a little bit extra jalapeno right on top, just like that, so you know what you're eating. It smells amazing. Yeah, I get the jalapeno coming out of it, but you can still smell all of the maltiness, all of that sweetness coming from the Ruthie Gold Lager. You can tell it is a beer cheese. It is not just a normal nacho cheese sauce. Gonna go absolutely incredible with chips or pretzels or whatever you want to dip into this guy. I think I gotta get in there and give it a shot. Beautifully melty, creamy, exactly like you want it, but not fake like the one you get at the ballpark, right? Let's see. What I think is really fun about this is the sweetness from the malt of the Ruthie Gold Lager really comes through. It's a different flavor in a cheese sauce than you're used to. The smokiness comes through from the Gouda, from that smoked paprika, of course that classic cheddar taste, but it's so smooth because we added in just a little bit of that American cheese to help emulsify it. It's the touch spicy, of course, from those jalapenos. I love cheese sauce. I think it's really, really good, but today we made it better with beer.
Everything's better with beer. Everything's better with beer.